did you all to hear what I'm saying? Success is a plan that takes years in the making. When nobody did, I believe. Had to let go of things I did not need. Cut off some friends in the process, what could I say? I could no longer carry the dead weight. Get off your ass, there's lots you can do. You wanna learn something and watch how I move, but they don't wanna do shit. They wanna be spoon-fed like a little baby. That shit is crazy, boy. Change up your mindset. I get 3 days worth of work done in just one. 727 mindset is the hustle for us. You get it?
Hey, I'm Alex Corona.
And I'm Jamie Burke.
And this is the 727 podcast. And today we're coming at you from HQ
Headquarters.
What are we talking about today, Jane?
Today we are talking about one-sided relationships. Have you ever been in a relationship where you feel like 50-50 isn't so much 50-50?
So what we talk about is filling in those gaps. So that way it is a 50-50 partnership.
So in business, I feel like it's a little bit of a gray area because you want to delegate what you can, but if you see things aren't done, are you just supposed to be the one to pick up and do it? Probably not.
So what I think about a 50-50 partnership is the person on the other end doing their part, right? And what does their part mean? Their part means to do as much as they can to fulfill their promise, right? Because in any type of partnership, there's some type of agreement or maybe an unspoken rule, right? On most cases, but you got to get real clear on a 50-50 partnership, right? Like what's my part, right? What's my 50%? And what is their 50%? Or sometimes a little more, a little less, but in the most part, it's got to be a partnership, right? It can't be a one-sided relationship because we know those things never work out, right?
So we've talked about expectations and having clarity before. So let's just assume that's all set up. So the expectations are there and the clarity is there, but you're still feeling like that relationship is one-sided. What do you do?
You get real clear on
Get clearer.
super clear on what you are trying to get out of this relationship, right? So whether it's a significant other, whether it's a business partnership, whether it's your kids, right? So I was having this conversation with my sons this morning. Instead of waking up in the morning and, looking for your iPad or looking for what it is that you have to do, why don't you look around the house and see what needs to be done, right? Wake up, hey, some dishes need to be done. Hey, I know how to load the dishwasher. I know how to unload the dishwasher. Why don't I do the dishes? Why don't I pick up a broom and do a little sweeping? Grab the Dyson and do a little vacuuming, right? So you got to do your part, including the kids. And I even made a joke to them. I said, even my dog has his responsibilities that he has to take care of. And if he's not taking care of his shit, guess what? We got a problem. So
what does he have to do? What does the dog have
He's got to make sure that he's protecting the house.
He's got to make sure that he takes the shit outside.
That's first and foremost, right? Step 2, stay the hell out my bed. No, I'm just kidding. He's okay there, but that he's got his responsibilities. He's got to take care of my family. He's got to take care of the house. He's got to make sure that he's not making a mess in the house. When I'm not home and I call Jamie, all I hear is my dog barking in the background. Any noise that anyone makes, the house makes, there's noise coming from outside. He lets it be known.
It's because he thinks it's all going to kill us.
Well, I think he just wants to warn these people, like, hey, if you want some, come and get it, right? So he does his part.
He becomes the man of the house when Alex isn't there.
And, Jamie definitely does her part. She takes care of us amazingly. And that's what makes me want to also do my part because I want to make sure that I'm taking care of her. I want to make sure that I'm pushing her and I'm doing what I got to do on my part to take care of her in the best way possible. And most importantly, fulfilling my part, whether it's doing dishes, cleaning toilets. Me and some of the guys sometimes leave work a little early to go home and clean the whole house. We do the laundry, put the laundry away, clean the whole kitchen, do the yard work, take care of the pool house, the animal shit. I mean, it doesn't stop. Whatever I need to do to make sure that this woman is taken care of and she's got more time for herself and my kids, I'm down.
So I love that. It actually makes me laugh, the fact that you are telling the 6 and 9-year-old to wake up and take a look and see what chores are around the house. Because let's face it, what 6 and 9-year-old are actually doing that. But here is why I absolutely love that, because I think it's never too early to really install those values in their mindset. I know that I grew up helping, and I really couldn't even tell you at what age I learned that. I just have always known it, which I think in turn has really made me a nice hard worker and nothing is below me and I'll go ahead and fill any gap that I need to. And sometimes I do that a little bit too much, but we have these conversations with the kids because we don't want them growing up and feeling that, you know, if you're not doing those things when you're older, it's because you just weren't taught or weren't told that those things should be done. So even though it makes me laugh when you're telling the kids like, what needs to be done and we need help around here and things like that, but I think that it's also going to have like the most amazing effect on them as they grow older because those are the things that they're going to remember. Thank God they have you for that. Now with us, when we talk about, because we have a little bit of a struggle where you feel like the relationship or the business relationship is one-sided, and it's not because I don't believe in the destination of where he's heading, but sometimes we do butt heads. A lot of times we do butt heads on things or timing of things or how long we could do things that need to be done. So Alex is very moves at the speed of lightning and want things always done in the now. And me, I'm a little bit more of like hold back and type of thing. So I do love all of the processes and all the things that you've learned and taught us over the years. But likewise, too, it's not that we have this half 50-50 relationship. It's just sometimes timing or how we get there has a lot to do with it. So what are your thoughts on a business standpoint of why sometimes like in business, you're not always going to agree. So sometimes you are going to feel like it's half-sided.
So, you know, for me, I'm always looking for people that have the answers and that have already done what I'm trying to do. So
Smart.
when I bring back this information to my team, or, you know, I take tons of notes, I take videos, I try to take in as much information as I can, and then I convey it over to my team. And you know, like I explained to them, we only know what we know. And if we're not out here trying to figure things out or do the research or find better ways to do what we're already doing, you're already lost. You've lost because you're not trying to get better. And everything that I'm doing causes me to do research, to find those answers, and then for me to bring them back on a silver platter and then to be argued with or to think that it's not going to work when it's, you know, been laid before us. Success leaves clues everywhere. So it's like, here, this guy did it, that guy did it, this person did it. So now it's like not so much like, hey, if he did it I could do it. It's like, shit, like if he did it, like, why the fuck not me, right? Like, so I know I can do this shit. And a lot of times when it's somebody that's telling me, it's so simple, right? It's so simplified to the point where it's like, wow, I'm doing everything right except that one step that I missed. That one sentence, that one word that's going to change it all. So sometimes that's why on the partnership level, you know, maybe one person brings something different than the other. So that's where you got to listen to that person, right? So like when Jamie's explaining some things to me that are way over my head that I can't understand, I straight up tell her, look, I don't know. I can't even, it's so much for me to get right now that my brain can't even comprehend it. But that's why I have you to take care of that part. This morning she calls me and she says, Alex, we got an offer on this house. This is what's going on. You know, they're asking for this much credit. They're asking for that kind of commission. And, well, you know, what should I do? Jane, I know you know what time it is. Do what you got to do. Keep me out of it, you know, and after it's all over, I'll tell you what a great job you did.
And I think I agree with that because did I really need you to tell me how to negotiate that deal? No, sometimes I think I call for that extra like reassurance that what I'm thinking is in fact what's right. But I also think that I need to stop doing that and just make a executive decision, as you would say, because there's oftentimes where my business partners inside my office who are working very closely with me on things, there's questions that they ask me and I'm sitting here thinking like I'm helping them with the answers, but I don't need to be doing that. They need to fill their 50% of our partnership. I do mine, and then I can turn back to them and say, I trust that you'll be able to make this decision the right way, and they make those decisions. So again, I'm guilty of doing something that with you that I want other people to be doing too. Although I do believe that when you hand over that information of what you have learned and what we should be doing. Like, thank God for you and really pushing me to read more books and listen to podcasts and things of that sort. Because I take away something so differently than what you do too. And it is helping me grow and it is helping me learn and get better. But I feel like it is totally appropriate that everyone incorporates those type of learning things into their day at a time that's good for them. So as long as you know I'm going to do those things, let me do it at my time.
It's funny because I do push Jane constantly. I
It's a
don't want her
lot.
wasting a second of her time. If I hear her like in silence, I'm like, here, pull out your phone, turn this book on. Here, pull out your phone, turn on this podcast. You're wasting like this billionaire I know. Coaches a lot of people that I know. He actually even trademarked this. I hope I don't owe him money for saying this, but he talks
Give them
about
credit.
unrefundable minutes, right? So you can never get these minutes back. You can't go to the store and go and buy them. They're unrefundable. So I think I owe him like a couple thousand now. But
We owe a lot more than that.
yeah, you get the point. You don't want to be wasting your time while you're getting ready. That's time that you could be spending learning and building these skills. You get paid upon the skills that you have. So no one ever has said, "Hey, I need less skills, right? I need more skills to bring more to the market, to bring more value to my clients." Because the more skills you have and the more value you bring, that's going to get you paid. It's going to get you the big bucks because that's when people are really going to want to pay you. That's when people are going to want to hear you speak. That's when people are going to want you to have to come to their business and talk to their employees and to their schools and to their churches. And that's when the real magic starts to happen.
I watched the documentary or parts of it of Martha Stewart the other day, and one thing she always lived by every single day, you have to learn something new. And wow, was she absolutely right about that. I forget what her number 2 thing was because I was in and out of doing things, but always learn something new. So in which is how you grow for sure. But if you set the expectation and you have the clarity and you're still continuing to learn and you have a partnership, once those things are set, if in that partnership the other person or the other group or whoever it is decides not to do all those things and fulfill them, then maybe that's not the right partner for you. And sometimes that's the ugly reality of things. People stay together in relationships, whether it's girlfriend, boyfriend, or husband or wife, or partner or business partner. Sometimes they stay in it so long, maybe not unhappily, because they haven't set those things first. But once they're set and everybody is very clear, if still the things aren't happening the way that you need them to, maybe it's time to just do that ugly part of severing the relationship and moving on to a different partner, whether it's a partner in life or partner in business, because then once you do that, you may see yourself growing immensely after, even though it was tough to get there.
I hear it quite often. I don't want to go home. My wife is there. My man is there. Oh man, I want to, go here, do that. If that's happening, I can tell you, you're not doing your part. It's very simple. If you're doing your part, the other person is going to see it. They're going to appreciate it. Jamie sometimes, fights with me because I am pushing her and I am, trying to get her to be better and do better. And she tries to justify why it's not happening or why it can't be done at that moment, or, I can't be listened because of the volume or whatever excuse it is. And like I tell her, I said, oh man, shame on me for spending every waking moment trying to help you buy back your time and help you live a better life. So at the end of the day, whether I get yelled at, treated like shit, and I'm not saying just from her, I'm saying from, anybody, whether I get a bad review or I get a, client that's not happy, at the end of the day, I know I'm doing my part and I know who I am and what I do. I don't have to, lie to myself, and you can't make everybody happy. But as long as I did what I said I was going to do and my integrity was all there the whole entire time and my client was first, I'm all good. I'm not going to, be upset about it. I'm actually going to be thankful because that's how, I get feedback and I do my job better. And when a client gives me a 1-star, I still am grateful to them. I'm still appreciative of their business. I still would do whatever I have to do for them. And eventually they can either come around or it's not a problem. But to be in a one-sided relationship, absolutely not. There's no way, no how. I'm going to do my part always. I'm always going to do what I said I was going to do. And my part, I'm going to kill it. So that not only am I going to do my 50%, I'm going to do my 50%.
You're going to do 51.
Man.
I think it's good. Yeah, in a partnership, you absolutely have to. And you have to know when you do things that aren't amazing. It's the only way you're going to grow. So when there's someone that's not exactly happy with things that have gone on as far as a deal or client or relationship, the only way that you're going to know what you've done wrong is if you communicate that to them. So they have to let you know that.
A lot of times when somebody wants to complain or they have something bad to say, they're pretty much just talking about themselves. You know, what they project on themselves. Oh, you know, they don't trust you. It's because they don't trust themselves. You know,
not everyone's going to love you always. They're just not. No matter how good you are at anything, everybody's got situations where that doesn't work out.
If you guys are in some type of partnership, like I said, even with your girl, your kids, everything, do your part. Your life will be so much better. You will live so much easier. You will attract the right things into your life because you're a man of your word or a woman of your word, and that's what it's about. You want to get the right people around you, and the people that don't do what they say they're going to do. Always, do what benefits them, and not worried about anyone else. And for the most, I guess, the most part, just a selfish person. Stay away from them, man. Stay away from them. They're not going to benefit your life. They're not going to benefit you. You don't need extra kids to take care of or grown-ass people.
You have to be very sure that you're doing your part. If you're doing your part, then evaluate if they have the ability or willingness to do theirs. And after that, you can make the determination if that partnership is supposed to split up or not.
Is there any part that you think I should step up on mine?
That you need to work on? Yes. So you need to, well, and I think this is, who you are and what you do for us and everything comes with this characteristic, but I think you need to learn how to control your emotions at times.
Man, fuck that shit.
I know. Flying up here right now.
Hey,
I think
I do know to the point where I remove myself from a lot of things because, like Jamie says, I will definitely lose my shit. So that's why.
And I think
I
a
don't
lot
put
of the
myself
listeners can relate to that.
Yeah,
Everybody loses their shit every once in a while.
And at least I know I'm smart enough to step back from those things and let Jamie or somebody else on the team take care of those because, I'm definitely not the one.
And it's great that we can talk to each other and tell each other what we need to work on.
I have like this big long list of things. Like it looks like Santa's, I guess, good list that I gotta get Jamie to work on. So we don't have enough time, I think, left in this year. Here we are a couple weeks away from December.
We are a work in progress just like everyone else in the world.
She's I'm very lucky, dude. I'm very lucky. How the hell she puts up with me every single day.
And I'm taller than you today.
Feels a giant. Like a jolly green giant.
Thanks,
I'm Alex Corona.
And I'm Jamie Burks. This is us 727
podcast where we show you how to work 3 days in one. How about you, boy?
See you next time.
Yeah. I'ma need you all to hear what I'm saying. Success is a plan that takes years in the making. When nobody did, I believe. Had to let go of things I did not need. Cut off some friends in the process. What could I say? I could no longer carry the dead weight. Get off your